as we approach the front would start to rotate. So we talked about this tornado warning. Now we've got this one, central Pennsylvania, tornado warning for you just outside of, say, Jersey and Lock Haven. It's Clinton and Lycoming counties. Tornado warning here, moving south and east away from the Renovo area, but certainly a potential for a tornado here. Again, hooking signature here, hail core in these bright pinks and whites, so some big hail possible. And then this is
a tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Rotating in that hook echo region, the greens and reds right next to each other. That is another sign that this is a supercell thunderstorm that could be producing a tornado at just about any point. So we have 2 tornado warnings now in Pennsylvania, 1 tornado warning in Missouri, an active pattern that will continue. I think the hail, as you're seeing here, is an underrated risk for the rest of the day, as all of these supercells are going to have a hail threat, not only Pennsylvania, but also across Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kansas, Nebraska, waiting on a new watch that stretches down through Oklahoma. That's where our own Alex Wallace is reporting from. We'll have details on all of these zones coming up.
Work's more fulfilling, carpool's more fun. Snack time tastes fresher. Glad I brought more than one.
Take the feeling with you. Sabra Snackers. Feel good food.
I just had Sabra hummus and now I feel good.
Excuse me, Mr. Batman, is there like a trunk?
If there was an animal right in front of you,
The National Weather Service in State College, Pennsylvania has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Lycoming County in north-central Pennsylvania, central Clinton County in north-central Pennsylvania until 4 p.m. At 3:23 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Heiner, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, tree damage will occur. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles is likely. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. This dangerous storm will be near Camel around 3:30 p.m. Waterville and Little Pine State Park around 3:40 p.m. Jersey Shore, Avis and Macohaton around 3:50 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Saladaysburg, Oval, and Garden View. For those driving on Interstate 80, this includes areas between the Loganton and Jersey Shore exits, specifically from mile markers 188 to 190. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 4 p.m. for the following counties: Clinton and Lycoming.
At Carvana.
Bear presents Tough as Walls.
That's some great paint.
That's some great paint.
Bear, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction with interior paints. Find it exclusively at the Home Depot.
We continue to follow severe weather breaking out across the center of the country. A smattering of severe thunderstorm watches have been issued. Tornado watch until 10 o'clock from Kansas into Missouri. Severe thunderstorm watches across portions of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And then a tornado watch in Pennsylvania into New Jersey.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Along that line, that's where our boundary is, our stationary front or warm front, depending on which part of the boundary you're looking at. The bottom line is that storms near there are going to have an easier time rotating, and we're certainly now seeing that across Pennsylvania. Two different tornado warnings to talk to you about. One not too far from Lock Haven and from Williamsport. This is Clinton and Lycoming counties here in northern Pennsylvania. A supercell thunderstorm with that eagle wing fanning out pattern as it's feeling some of the pull of the upper level winds, and a hook echo region right in there that is starting to show some signs of rotation. You see the greens and reds right next to each other, showing you where we have that couplet where the greens are going towards our radar site and reds away. And every once in a while, if that rotation gets strong, you wind up with some funky dropout areas, even in the rotation signature here, where those oranges and blues are kind of switching back and forth. Sometimes that is the sign of a very strong tornado. Other times it's a sign of an error in the data. And so we got to just monitor that area pretty carefully, pretty closely as it continues on. The bottom line is that if you're in Gallagher, the meat of this storm is headed in your direction, and then eventually a town called Jersey Shore could also be at play as that storm is moving south and east through Pennsylvania. Then we jump over towards western Pennsylvania, not too far from Allegheny, not too far from Puxatawny, Armstrong and Indiana counties. Tornado warning until 3:45. Now, this too has a lot of those signatures of a supercell thunderstorm that could produce a tornado, where you've got this, hooking, classic view of the hook echo region from this storm, and that is where the rotation potential is as well, back towards that hook, heading generally towards Indiana there in Pennsylvania. Now, depending on which radar site you look at, we're kind of in between two radar sites here. The rotation looks...
Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults. One dose once a month. Aimovig is proven to reduce the number of monthly migraine days. For some, that number can be cut in half or more. The most common side effects are pain, redness or swelling at the injection site, and constipation. It doesn't matter what each day brings, so long as you can say, I am here. Aim to be there more. Talk to your doctor about preventing migraine with Aimovig.
Got bugs in your house? Stop using traditional insecticides to get rid of them. Get Zevo. Deadly for bugs, safe to use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo is bioselective. It targets nervous system receptors only active in insects, not in people or pets. Zevo is powerful. It contains essential oils that are natural enemies of bugs. It doesn't need harsh chemicals to work. Order Zevo online for just $6.99 and get free shipping.
Get it! Get that butterfly!
You know those butterflies aren't actually in the room.
Hey, that baker lady's on TV again!
She's not a baker. She wears that apron to sell insurance. Nobody knows why.
She's the Progressive Insurance lady. They cover pets if your owner gets into a car accident.
Covers us with what?
You got me.
Ugh, she's an insurance lady.
And I suppose this baker sells insurance too?
Progressive protects your pets like you do. You can see The Secret Life of Pets 2 only in theaters.
What's the secret to natural bliss? We choose perfect, simple ingredients. Farm fresh milk and cream, pure cane sugar, and Madagascar vanilla. That's one tasty secret. 100% natural bliss, 100% of the time.
Get Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot so you can spend all weekend growing and gathering. Today is the day for...
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Storms are now rotating along a stalled out front that stretches from Pennsylvania all the way back into the center of the country.
The National Weather Service in State College, Pennsylvania has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Northumberland County in central Pennsylvania, northeastern Snyder County in central Pennsylvania, southeastern Union County in central Pennsylvania until 4 p.m. At 3:35 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Clatserville, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and golf ball size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, tree damage will occur. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles is likely. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. This dangerous storm will be near Clatserville and Winfield around 3:40 p.m. Sealands Grove, Sunbury, Northumberland, Hummel's Wharf, and Shamokin Dam around 3:50 p.m. Rebuck, Urban, and Stonington around 4 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Edgewood, 7 Points, New Berlin, Freeburg, Herndon, Pillow, Sealands Grove Airport, Bucknell, and Snydertown. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 4 p.m. for the following counties: Northumberland, Snyder, and Union.
In it, we've got some rain, but look at that green and red.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Tornado right near that hooking part of the storm. So again, the National Weather Service saying, the radar is saying there could be a tornado here at just about any point. Then we go into the center of the country where we're not seeing much action yet, but don't put your guard down. From Wichita to Oklahoma City, maybe as far east as Tulsa later on today, a 95% chance of a tornado watch. And I know the Storm Prediction Center is in a conference call right now with some of the local offices coordinating where that watch should be,
watching
how
America's
long that watch should last.
#1 weather network, the Weather Channel.
A tornado watch is in effect. Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, scattered strong to severe thunderstorms, low 63. Wednesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 74. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live on yet another very busy weather day.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
It's flowing at a pretty good clip, but I bet that's going to slow dramatically within the next 10, maybe 15 minutes. Just off the horizon is a nasty thunderstorm that at times has had a tornado warning. And the newest warning that it has extended from this is a severe thunderstorm warning. That said, these storms are near a front, near a boundary that is making it pretty favorable for rotation across Pennsylvania. Tornado watch continues here until 10 o'clock. So here is that storm. Here's Williamsport, and there's the camera area that we are looking at. A lot of the mess is going to stay just south of Williamsport itself, especially the hooking part of this thunderstorm that has the best chance of a tornado. Clinton and Lycoming counties continue to be under that tornado warning lasting until 4 o'clock. And it is a pretty classic view of a supercell thunderstorm. This hook can at any point give us a tornado somewhere within that hook. We've got, inflow air coming in this way. Interesting to see these colors like this. I think that is a function of being far away from the radar, and we're seeing some errors there along the velocity data. But back here, there certainly could be a tornado at just about any point in that hooking supercell thunderstorm. Certainly not the only storm that we're watching in Pennsylvania even. We can look a little bit further south and east from there into Northumberland, into Snyder, into Union counties. Tornado warning for you goes until 4 o'clock. Now, again, a big hail core with this one. All these bright pink and purple colors that you're seeing is indicative of large hail. There at times has been this eagle wing pattern. You're seeing a little bit of that fanning out where the storms are kind of being tilted by the winds aloft and helping to, send that hail well up into the atmosphere. But look at this. This whole storm is rotating. Greens and reds real close to each other. Maybe a signature of a potential tornado there, although it's on a very strange part of our storm. So I'm not 100% sold that that was a tornado vortex signature, but it is certainly something to watch with that supercell thunderstorm that is obviously rotating, at least in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And we go into western Pennsylvania. This is just outside of Indiana. Been following this supercell thunderstorm for a while. It continues to show that, again, that kind of wing pattern, that fanning out in 2 different directions.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Coming in like this, rain cool air wrapping back around.
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for our area.
On the south side of our storm, but I'm watching this area for the chance for some rotation. Certainly something to monitor there as well. Lots of lightning, lots of hail, lots of risks with these storms. And finally, want to also jump into Missouri, a gnarly storm. The country, and you can see that we've got a smattering of watches, both severe thunderstorm and tornado watches along that boundary. Then down towards the cold front area, central Kansas into Oklahoma, tornado watch has been issued as well. That is the newest watch as issued by the Storm Prediction Center. So this whole zone is starting to go largely along our boundary at this point, that stationary boundary, the west to east. There is a flood threat here with storms that will be repeating over the same areas again and again and again. But these are individual supercell thunderstorms within that complex riding along the front. And so several warnings now across Pennsylvania. Let's start off across the area well south of Williamsport now, towards Sunbury, towards Cole, towards Higgins. This is a brand new tornado warning, kind of extended out.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Same supercell thunderstorm, so it's now Northumberland and Schuylkill counties underneath a tornado warning at this point. Now, this warning goes until 4:30, starting to get towards that, evening commute time. Keep in mind that there are active storms ongoing for that drive home. Know where you are. Wow, look at the rotation on this, right? There is a big rotating complex on the back edge of this storm. The green colors going towards the radar site, red going away, and they meet up right in here. That is where the tornado would be sitting, and there is a dropout there as well with regards to our correlation coefficient, meaning pixel to pixel, scan to scan. Is everything symmetrical? Is it all raindrops? Is it all heavy hail? A combination of both, that heavy rain and large hail. I think that's a lot of what's happening in this part of the storm. But big question mark, what's happening down here? Are we seeing nothing because there's the inflow notch right there and there's just not that much to pick up on? Or is that the tornado and some debris is being thrown into that rain-free area? And that may be the case at this point. This is a fairly strong rotation and certainly something that the National Weather Service is worried about. Indiana County also has a tornado warning there in Pennsylvania, moving away from the town of Indiana, although you're not.
The National Weather Service in State College, Pennsylvania has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Schuylkill County in central Pennsylvania, southern Northumberland County in central Pennsylvania until 4:30 p.m. At 3:58 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Rebuck, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and golf ball size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, tree damage will occur. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles is likely. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. This dangerous storm will be near Rebuck, Urban, and Shreveport around 4:10 p.m. Leckkill, Klingerstown, and Fairview and Ferndale around 4:20 p.m. Tower City around 4:30 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Edgewood, 7 Points, Muir, Orwin, Higgins, Herndon, Pittman, Schuylkill County Airport, and Pillow. This includes Interstate 81 for mile markers 108 to 110. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 4:30 p.m. for the following counties: Northumberland and Schuylkill.
I think it's going to be an underrated threat here for that chance for large hail through the center of the country and all the way up towards that boundary.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for the following Pennsylvania counties: Northumberland and Schuylkill. Effective until 4:43 p.m., the National Weather Service in State College, PA has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Schuylkill County in central Pennsylvania, southern Northumberland County in central Pennsylvania. Until 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 3:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Rebuck, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard: tornado and golf ball size hail. Source: radar indicated rotation. Impact: tree damage will occur. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles is likely. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. This dangerous storm will be near Rebuck, Urban, and Trevorton around 4:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Leckhill, Klingerstown, and Fairview, Ferndale around 4:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Tower City around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Edgewood, 7 Points, Muir, Orwin, Higgins, Herndon, Pittman, Schuylkill County Airport, and Pillow. This includes Interstate 81 from mile markers 1080. Precautionary/preparedness action.
See this, and now as you come out today, and
if you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
New this is for people. They are still looking for perhaps personal belongings in that field located
northern
behind
Luzerne
this
County, and presume it will continue on its path down into the Poconos from there. This is one nasty system. Let's get back out to John and Allie in the Weather Center to bring us up to the minute on where we stand.
Well, we've got a new tornado warning that's now just been issued, and again, it's doing that thing where it jumps over Sullivan County, but just consider yourself, and when we're showing you this first map here, that you too are under the tornado warning as well.
And I think people who live in this area, in this part of Sullivan County, they know that by now.
Yeah, you'd think so. So do sure consider yourself under the tornado warning as well. This is just a conflict with one National Weather Service office and the other, but that warning that we've just popped up there, consider Sullivan County under that tornado warning as well as southern Bradford, western portions of Wyoming County. You're under that tornado warning. And then the eastern portions of Luzerne County and western portions of Lackawanna County, that tornado warning going until 6:30. So that one continues for another 9 minutes time here. Let's pop over to Max 2. I want to bring you up to date and up to speed where we're seeing the strong rotation with that cell that we're tracking that's moving right towards the Scranton area, right towards the Music area. This is the rotation here, and it continues to be quite quite strong. So we'll get you that up-to-date information. It's going to be that spot right there. This is very strong rotation. This is moving, again, southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So this couplet right here. So that's the area of most concern right now. So that's going to be places, again, that's the Newton Ransom area. Taylor, you're potentially in line to see this thing, as well as Old Forge, Music. We're going to be keeping our eyes on this thing. Again, it officially goes for another, looks like about another 8 minutes. But we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this as it moves into our general direction. And I don't say this lightly, but our weather office is actually located pretty close to some windows. There may be a time here in the next few minutes we may have to step away.
We could take roof cam right now, actually. Yeah.
Step away from our window. So this is what it looks like. Here's the storm that's coming in. Yeah, so Dave Nicosia giving us. We're going to go to Scranton cam now. So a lot of lightning, I guess, being detected with our camera there. Looks like Dave Nicosia saying that there's a very, very strong cell. It's the one that we just showed you, and it's moving right towards the Scranton area, as he said. So you can see a lot of lightning that's popping up here on the screen. So that's our Scranton camera, the People's Security Scranton camera. A very nasty storm moving into Scranton now. Allie, let's show them the tornado safety tips, because it's obviously, we've been seeing more tornadoes as of late. It feels, but I know a lot of folks maybe in downtown areas haven't necessarily seen. Of course, last year Wilkes-Barre Township saw the tornado that came through. This one is moving towards the Scranton area. Scranton, Taylor, Old Forge. You've got to get to that tornado safe shelter now. That is an interior room and away from windows, a basement if you've got one. Get yourself a helmet and strap that on. You've got to get away from windows now. This is a very serious storm that's moving down into our neck of the woods. I'm getting some reports of some hail now from the Dunmore and the Scranton area. That's what we're seeing right now, but there is some strong rotation coming in on the back side of this thing. And so the hail kind of always extends outward and away from the actual spin, but the spin itself is moving right towards the Scranton area as we speak. So those are some tornado safety tips. They're up on the screen. That's what you need to be doing. We're live right now on WILK Radio. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on our apps. You can crank your TV up as you head down towards your tornado safe shelter. These are some of the steps that you need to be taking now. As you crank that up, get to your safe spot as the storm moves in our direction.
Yeah, and just away from windows. I know people want to watch it out the window and take pictures and videos, but get away from the windows. Like John mentioned, we actually have windows right next to our weather center, so we will likely be doing that too as the storm passes through our station here in Music.
Right on. So let's pop back over to Max 2. Let's show you where the storm is right now, where we're seeing what's known as that hook echo. And so you have very strong winds coming in here from the south, and strong winds as well kind of coming down here from the north, and that creates this hook. So it's likely in this spot here that we're seeing it. Let's take Scranton Tower Cam immediately then. Let's do that. So this is shelf cloud or wall cloud, Allie? No, shelf. That's what's known as a shelf cloud. So there's some very strong winds that extend outward from the storm. You can see the frequent lightning. That's just the tower. That's the Times Tower with the blinking light. But this is the system that's moving in our direction. You're hearing all of our phones going off here as our emergency alert systems are going off on our phones.
New tornado warnings are now being issued, so in that, more of Lackawanna County extended into Wayne County too, so that's why you're hearing some of those alerts in the background here. All of our phones here at the station are going off, so now included in that is the Scranton and Dunmore and into Wayne County too.
Okay, and this is being an observed tornado. I don't know if this is radar indicated observed or if it's actually observed on the ground. But
can we take Max 1?
Let's take Max 1. Max 1, please. So this is where the tornado warnings are. This is located near Clark Summit or near Waverly, and it's moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. This is an observed tornado. In the tagline, it says that the tornado damage threat is considerable. This is not something that the National Weather Service often issues out of Binghamton. They're letting us know that. It is a rare, considerable tornado tag being put in here, and it's heading towards Scranton. Scranton, you got to get to that tornado safe shelter now. Dixon City, you got to get to your tornado safe shelter now. This warning goes until 7:15. You need to get yourself away from windows. Al, if you want to just drag that up, you're getting a little covered there. That's okay. That new warning that includes the rest of Lackawanna County, southern Wayne County. You got to get to that tornado safe shelter immediately. That's away from windows, lowest interior room of your house. Grab the helmet if you've got it. We're live on numerous platforms right now, including Facebook Live, WILK. Thank you very much for following along. If you're listening on the radio, you need to be getting to your tornado safe shelter now. We're keeping a close eye here on our Scranton camera. You know, as is often kind of the case, the tornadoes kind of get hidden as they move from northwest to southeast, because you get what's known as the precipitation shield that comes up first, and that kind of obscures where the tornado is. So you're likely going to see, you know, nothing until basically the thing is right on top of us. I think we're kind of looking a little kind of north here, Allie. I think if we pan it maybe just a little bit to the left, that may be where we get some better signs of rotation. Keep going. Yeah, here we go. So keep going, keep going. Yeah, this is what we're going to want to watch right here, guys. This is where we might be seeing that strong rotation. It's going to be right in here. You know, if this tornado is going to touch down, I think we're going to see it kind of right out where we're looking in this general direction. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that. Again, National Weather Service with this tornado warning saying that the tornado damage threat is considerable. So we need to be taking all of our tornado precautions. In the Clark Summit area, ping pong ball sized hail has now been reported of 1.5 inches diameter. And that was just coming in 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago. So you're looking live here, Allie, at the radar loop as the storm presses south and east.
Exactly. So again, we are on the air for these tornado warnings. We now have quite a few. So let me bring you back to that to show you. Now, most of the southern part of Lackawanna County is included in that through Wayne County, down into Luzerne County, and then we also have additional tornado warnings for the southern part of Bradford County into Wyoming County. And as John mentioned, Sullivan County, be aware too, people in Dew Shore, you might as well be included in that tornado warning. So we do have several of these tornado warnings that we're keeping an eye on. I'll bring you back to radar to show you as the storm really is moving through just north of Scranton right now. It's crossing over the Interstate 81 area.
Right, yeah, so that's right up Interstate 81. It's probably in and around Dixon City, kind of a general vicinity. So this is the spot that we're going to be keeping our certainly our eyes you know, really peeled on as you get a live look up at the radar there. And as I kind of look back on some of these previous scans, Allie, I mean, we might be seeing, you know, a real favor here as maybe the rotation is kind of, you know, maybe showing some signs of weakening. It's hard though. There's so much rain in this thing that it may be getting kind of rain wrapped. But looks like the Scranton Dunmore area certainly in line for this potential tornado. I'm going back over to that velocity mode. That strong rotation right now is over the Scranton Dunmore area. This is where we're seeing that couplet. It looks like it maybe let up just a little bit, which is good, but like we talked about earlier, sometimes these things like to pulse up and pulse down. From Dixon City, we're getting reports of quarter-sized hail as well. So, you know, very active scene here right around the Scranton area. Looks like this thing may have weakened just in time before going through the metro, but we're going to be on guard. This continues to move south and east at 35 miles per hour. It's moving down towards 380, towards the interchange there. So even if you're not necessarily a tornado, there could be some very strong, damaging wind gusts with this. Also looks like there's some fairly large hail that could be associated with this as well. So you're looking again at the velocity mode of the couplet that we're tracking. This is what National Weather Service meteorologists, it's one of the tools that they'll use before issuing any kind of warnings. We're going to go back live now to our Scranton camera, and there's the very dark and kind of ominous sky. And we're just again, we're trying to keep up with this, Allie. This is about the continuation of the tornado warning for Bradford and Wyoming counties until 7. But again, we're going to try to call that Sullivan County too, northern portions of Sullivan County. This is a conflict between National Weather Service offices. Let's take Max 1 if we could, please. Max 1. We say this because the Dew Shore area, that Sullivan County is from the State College National Weather Service office. And, you know, sometimes the weather offices aren't communicating. They can't issue warnings in each other's offices.
And so this is really a question for you, John. So this tornado warning for that part of Luzerne County has now expired, or at 6:30, so it has expired. Okay. But as you can see, it is still included for an additional part of Lackawanna County and Wayne County, which wasn't the original tornado warning that we were originally on the air for the metro area. But so Luzerne County no longer under that tornado warning.
Yes. Yep. That is correct. Looks like. Yeah, that one has been allowed to expire, thankfully, but certainly some very strong rotation still being picked up with the tornado warning throughout the rest of the Scranton area. Points to the east out 84 and 380. You can see where that red polygon is here up on your screen. So those areas under that warning still until 7:15. That tornado warning till 6:30, that was kind of including areas south and west. That included kind of Avoca and eastern portions of Luzerne County. That has now since been allowed to expire. So some good news there, but still that one we were mentioning, the one that's not Dew Shore not included, you should be. You know what? Let's maybe take a peek up at that one too.
On radar?
Yeah, because I know we've been really focused on that one. You know, kind of coming through here through the metro, but we don't want folks up there to be kind of caught off guard either. So this is southern portions of Bradford County that we're certainly concerned with some rotation in there, some damaging wind gusts, and some hail. And it looks like Dew Shore. I know Donna from Dew Shore. Donna, we love you, really. We love all the photos that you send. But you get this, you're not officially under the tornado warning, but you consider yourself that you should be. And, you know, so what you got to do here is, Donna, we love you love your photos. So let this thing pass, and then, you know, then send us the photos. Want to let you know, we've got a new report here in the area of Wyoming County. There's no injuries reported, but there's trees and wires down in the vehicle, and there were people that were around it. So just so you know, so that was the falls area. But we're going to go take Scranton, Cam, I guess. So it looks like Scranton now kind of getting in on this thing with the rotation that we've seen. Obviously, a lot of lightning. You can see the rain that's starting up. Looks like so far it's all rain in here. Looks like the hail threat probably about 5 miles north and east. But right now, definitely lots of lightning, plenty of raindrops here on the lens. Doesn't look too bad in downtown right now, but that may change as this kind of continues to move right through the Scranton metro area. Let's go back over to, I guess, to Max 1, I guess, just to kind of show you what the radar was looking like here. Active, again, tornado warning continues through 7:15. Looks like there's kind of a defined hook there, at least on your radar there, Allie. But that's, yeah, it looks like it's, again, kind of tracking up and over towards 380 at this point. Still a couplet there, still some signs of rotation as this guy continues to move south and east at about 25 miles an hour or thereabouts. Let's pardon me. Let's go back over to Max 2. Yep, thank you very much. Again, it looks like Dunmore right now. Looks like again maybe some significant hail, a possibility up where you see kind of this more of a magenta kind of a shading. If that's not making sense, the color-wise, follow the arrow. So it's going to be kind of north of the Dunmore area. It looks like where there might be a decent hail threat right now. So Blakely, Einan, maybe up towards Archbald, Jessup, Oliphant.
Not to cut you off, but in Oliphant, we actually just got a report from the National Weather Service 911 call center saying lightning caused structure fire in the vicinity of East Pine and East Scott Street in Oliphant. So just watch out for that area there in Oliphant.
All right, that's great information to pass along.
We do have an additional, tornado warning. Not showing up yet. Okay, no, it's continuing for Wayne County and then into part of Pike County.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's good. Well, again, not good. Thank you for the information. So the other things that we're looking at here from just a few moments ago, Dixon City, some half-dollar sized hail, which is an 1.25 inch sized hail. So some very large hail with that. An Oliphant, again, as Ali was just mentioning, lightning causing a fire in the vicinity of East Pine and East Scott Streets, and that's going to be an Oliphant. You're looking live at some radar imagery here. Looks like maybe the rotation is stepping down, maybe just a little bit. Again, we're getting a little bit farther away from the radar site. It's always a concern, but you know, we are still at least seeing what we don't like to see, but you kind of have this little inflow coming in here. When I say that, what I mean is when you're not seeing anything in the way of precipitation. This is some strong winds coming in from the south, and then you have strong winds coming in from the north on this side. So there is still at least some broad rotation in here, pretty strong wind field, and that means that we're looking at the potential for damaging wind gusts. And as we've seen really here all afternoon, some pretty large hail reports. Those large hail reports extend back into much of central Pennsylvania. Now we're starting to find those here in northeastern Pennsylvania as well. So, and you know, we were talking about this, and to that end, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of take a wide angle shot here. And you know, we were mentioning it earlier that, you know, hey, central Pennsylvania, you've been seeing all the action, and here in northeastern Pennsylvania, you're probably like, why isn't my 4 o'clock news on? Well, now that threat has shifted east, and now we have these active tornado warnings here in eastern Pennsylvania. I think what we're going to do here, Ali, I know Scott and Charla standing by in the studio with maybe some updated information, maybe some video or power outage information, guys?
Power outage information is holding steady. We don't have any updated information from the eastern part of our viewing area where the storms are hitting right now, but we do have a heck of a lot of pictures and video of these storms as they've been coming through all of the communities in northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Let's take a look. This is from Mashopin. This is some video shot by a viewer. You can see golf ball size hail just raining down. Wow.
Yeah.
On a front yard there in Mashopin.
Just give you an idea of these storms that are coming through. It's nothing to be messing with if you haven't gotten hit yet, but you see them coming in your direction. This is what you are in for, and this is mild compared to some of the other hail we have seen. I mean, this is certainly could be very damaging. And some of the other pictures of hail we've seen are much worse.
Right.
Here's Tunkhannock. It almost looks like a winter storm.
Yeah, you can see how strong the winds are. And, of course, Tunkhannock also reports of golf ball-sized hail, even some reports of softball-sized hail, which, as we said, it can do a lot of damage. And the winds, what John and Ali have been talking about, those winds really not letting up. So we're seeing a lot of winds, a lot of hail, and, of course, a lot of rain. And here we have Lycoming County just coated. It looks like you said a winter storm. It's just ice, but it's all hail coming down there in Lycoming County. Again, this is viewer video. Wow. And that can do some damage. I'm seeing that truck out there, and I know a lot of cars probably in the same boat. Yeah,
we always see this happening when we have these hailstorms. Boy, folks, your car's parked at the wrong spot, you have all kinds of problems. This is Shenandoah in Schuylkill County, the main street here, and there's the hail falling in Schuylkill County as well. Now in Schuylkill County, we have about 396 customers affected in terms of PPL customers affected, their power being affected by the storms. And you can see why as the storm goes through that part of Schuylkill County. Now, again, we are watching the storms that are moving slowly through Lackawanna County and heading southeast. Looks like there's another batch of storms even behind that.
We're seeing that in Dewshore now, and now
coming on the same path.
Moving through, it looks really bad in Clark Summit right now. As Ali and John were showing, lots of hail coming down in that area, and then of course in the Dunmore area. As well as it kind of approaches Scranton. So that's where the heaviest part of this storm appears to be right now. But of course, a wide area under that tornado warning. We have Lackawanna County, we have parts of Pike County and Wayne County as well underneath that tornado warning. And again, another storm coming from Dewshore, and it could be backing up right into Clark Summit again, and that same track.
And we have reports from forecasters that the storm, as it moved through the Waverly area of Lackawanna County, that's part of the Abingtons north of Scranton, that might have been a very powerful storm. I don't want to throw around the word tornado because that's an official weather description of an official weather storm. But this was a nasty thing in Waverly, and I think we're starting to maybe get a clearer picture of what was going on up there.
This is a look from our roof cam, so that is what's headed our way, it appears.
Coming right here.
You can see how dark that cloud is, and I know many of you at home have been experiencing that as the night goes on, because we started this coverage several hours ago, all the way up Renova in the western part of our viewing area, and it has really just moved across many of our counties. And now we're going to show you a look live at the People's Security camera that is in downtown Scranton. That is looking north. So again, we've been telling you Clark Summit right now really getting hammered with hail, with strong winds and rain. And John's talking about rotation, and that's why you're under that tornado warning. We can see the lightning there. And again, it's here to stay for at least a little while. We're under tornado warning till 7:15 right now. That tornado warning seems to be continued as the day's been going on for now 3 hours.
They've been just getting overlapped and overlapped. Another tornado warning as these storms move through. Looked like in that last video from Scranton, we saw some clear skies in the background, but don't get out, as John and Allie are going to bring us up to date on from the Weather Center.
Guys.
That we just saw there from the Scranton camera, that may be what's known as what's called a wall cloud. So that's what develops first, and then you get the funnel that kind of drops out from underneath it.
Take Scranton camera again.
Yeah, let's take that there. So that kind of little appendage that is extending kind of to the south of that. There's a storm report from an emergency manager. He's actually from Florida, but he's off duty. And he's up in the Wyoming Valley. He's in Scranton. He says he observed a wall cloud to the west and north of the Lackawanna Hotel. And so that may be what we're seeing here. Not seeing a lot of spin under that, at least kind of staring at things here. So it may be what's known as a non-rotating wall cloud. Don't see anything extending underneath it, but that is certainly something that you see develop before you get, and that's great. If you zoom in just a little bit further and tilt maybe just a little bit down, that may be some signs of rotation here. Maybe up just a tad. I know it is touchy back there, but just up a touch as that thing kind of in the center portion of your screen, just off the horizon line. That may be some signs of some rotation right in that. Not seeing anything drop out of it just yet. Not seeing the funnel cloud, but this is certainly a wall cloud that we're going to have to keep a very close eye on here as this system kind of continues to move on, Allie.
In the control room, do you guys have a viewer photo of trees down in Dunmore?
Yeah, all right.
Dunmore yet?
Okay. There's been just monster hail and of course some damaging wind gusts as well. We have a truck flipped over. Do we have a video of that or a picture of that?
Okay, this is from Bradford County, yeah?
Okay, yeah, it was up by the Rome area. And of course, Rome, too, is where it was noted that there was a house with significant damage of the roof torn off.
Yeah, across the northern tier, we've seen more wind damage, whereas in central Pennsylvania, the reason we went on first, earlier this afternoon for those tornado warnings, that was more so very, very large, impressive hail. So a little bit of a difference with this. We're seeing, it seems like at least some more wind damage.
Yeah, let's bring you back to Max 2, please. Let's bring you back to Max 2, and I want to show you again one of the velocity couplet that we're seeing here. So this is in and around the Madison area. So this thing is kind of tightening back up again. So there's that cell that you saw around the Scranton area. That's a different cell that we saw some spin with, but we're also keeping an eye on one that's farther east in Lackawanna County. And this is kind of moving towards Madison. This would also be kind of closing in on Elmhurst and Moscow as well, Daleville. This cell displaying some pretty strong rotation here, so things may be kind of tightening back up again as this cell, again, moving south and east at about 35 miles per hour. And when you're starting to see these kind of colors this close together again, it's tightening back up and certainly capable of producing a tornado again. I want to flip back over to, well, I guess we got one up on the screen right now. What are we looking at here, Alan?
I was just pulling up a video. Hail coming down at Lake Winola up to 2 inches,
wow,
according to this viewer, David.
Okay. Okay. That's great. Yeah, Max 2, this is great. So we saw the signature earlier. It's what's known as a hook echo, and that's when you get some very strong indications on radar of rotation. So it's going to be in this area here. You can kind of see where there's kind of a void of precipitation. That means there's some very strong inflow or strong winds moving generally to the north. And on the top side here, this is strong winds, or coming from the south. This is strong winds coming from the north. And that's why we're seeing this hook echo here. It looks like it's sliding through Madison now. Madison, got to get to that tornado safe shelter immediately. And we're going to draw a track out from this thing here as well, let you know kind of where it's headed as it's moving south and east. So here are some other communities that may be impacted. Fortunately, none of those showing up. However, we're going to keep a close eye on that cell there as it, again, kind of continues to track south and east, moving through the Madison area now. I would also be heading into my tornado safe spot in Moscow, Daleville, and then in southern Wayne County, Newfoundland. Newfoundland's tornado safe spot as well. Gouldsboro, tornado safe shelter. Play it safe with that. Some strong winds, if not a tornado, heading your way, as well as the potential for some large hail.
Let's go back over to 1 just to recap why we're on the air. So Bradford County, the tornado warning that was in effect there has now been canceled, but Wyoming County, a portion of the central part of Wyoming County, is still seeing that tornado warning in effect until 7 o'clock. We've also got the tornado warning for Lackawanna and into Wayne County, the southern part of Wayne County, that tornado warning in effect until 7:15. So again, that's why we are on the air right now for both of these tornado warnings. Now, we do have, I think, that photo I was talking about earlier, a tree down in Dunmore there where there is a tornado warning in effect for that part of Lackawanna County. Included in that is the Scranton Dunmore area.
All right, some new information coming in from the National Weather Service. There's reports of a flooded home in Dunmore, and also hearing from Dave Nicosia, okay, the flooding in Dunmore. Troop hail of $half size, which is 1 1/4 inches in diameter. Now there's a flash flood warning issued for Lackawanna County. So
you're going to hear the beeping now.
You're going to hear that beeping. So we talked about this earlier. We talked about what's known as training storms. Think of it like a railroad track. Think of it like our backyard train. When you have that engine up front and it's pulling all the cars along, well, that's what our storms are starting to do now, too. They're moving over the same areas with torrential downpours. So in addition to the tornado threat, in addition to the frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, in addition to the hail, we're now going to be concerned with some flash flooding as well. So we've got to be heads up for that, as we have reports now of some flash flooding or flooded home in Dunmore. You're looking live now at our PennDOT cam. This is at that interchange, right? The I-81, I-380, and I-84 travel change. On the Dunmore-Scranton line, that's where we're looking here. So folks seem to be moving along A-OK. It doesn't look like the rain particularly heavy where we're looking at that, but we're just going to be safe here. Okay, so the tornado warning. Oh no, that's the flash flood warning.
That's the flash flood warning. Yep.
Okay, so the tornado warning still in effect.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so that's the flash flood warning till 6:45. Includes Scranton. Also, still looking at that tornado warning that goes until 7:15. Also, the tornado warning in Wyoming County that goes until 7. So that one's got another 11 minutes to go there. And it's actually a spot that it was already under a tornado warning earlier this afternoon, so or earlier this evening.
And I think Tunkhannock is included in that one.
Tunkhannock also included in that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Keeping an eye as well on that one in southeastern portions of Lackawanna County too, and around the Madison area. It's getting ready to cross over into southern Wayne County. So some communities that need to be heads up now, stretching generally south of Hamlin, down in Newfoundland, Gouldsboro, Greentown. I know that's Pike County, but you need to be heading towards your tornado safe shelter now, as that storm is moving southeast in your direction. Tornado warn has a history of producing damage in terms of hail, in terms of damaging wind gusts. We were looking earlier at our Scranton camera, and we may have seen a rotating wall cloud with that. But I don't think we're necessarily seeing that now. We're kind of just seeing some torrential rain from this particular cell. What do you think, Allie? Maybe jump back over to Max 1, maybe just show some of the folks where these storms are moving?
Yeah, again, why we're on air right now for those tornado warnings. We've got 2 tornado warnings, no longer in effect for Bradford County, but Lackawanna County included in that, and then Wyoming County included in that. So there's radar on a 2-hour loop, and you can see the line of storms that we've been tracking for the last several hours. We've really been on air continuously for the last several hours. Once a tornado warning either cancels or expires, we do have a new one issued. So I'll show it to you again, the actual warnings. The red polygons are the tornado warnings. Again, Wyoming County seeing that one until 7 o'clock. and then the Lackawanna and Wayne County areas seeing those tornado warnings until 7:15. And then the areas surrounding those red polygons, those areas shaded in gold, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So we actually have those severe thunderstorm warnings surrounding both of those tornado warnings.
Okay.
And then we also, again, what was just issued is the flash flood warning for part of Lackawanna County, Scranton included in that.
Sure, as some of these same cells kind of continue to move over some of the same areas. So up on your screen right now, you've got the flash flood warning that's in effect. I think let's bounce back over to let's bounce back over to 2 because it looks like we've got some certainly some signatures here in and around the Madison area and around I-84 of some large hail. When you're starting to see that kind of things extend away from kind of the hook echo, as we call it, when things start to extend away from that, usually what you're looking at is the potential for some significant hail. So this is kind of dropping down towards the Madison area right now. Also looks like some other areas that could be impacted, probably in and around the Sterling and Newfoundland areas. Also some spots that could be looking at some significant hail here shortly if you haven't started to see that already. And that is a tornado warn storm until 7:15. All right, so let's bounce you back over to Max 1 if we can. Allie, let's bring people up to date and up to speed with which counties are under tornado warnings right now.
Okay, so the area shaded in red. So the first tornado warning that you're seeing off to the left side of your screen, that's Wyoming County, and that tornado warning is in effect for a little bit longer until 7 o'clock. And then the bigger polygon you see a little bit farther east, that's for parts of Lackawanna, the southern part of Wayne, and it actually does extend it into Pike County as well. That tornado warning in effect until 7:15. So the Luzerne County, the tornado warning that was in effect for Luzerne County, that has since expired. Luzerne County no longer in a tornado warning. It's the Wyoming County warning as well as the Lackawanna and Wayne County also extends a little bit into Pike County. So those are the areas that are under tornado warnings right now. The areas shaded in red. Surrounding it, the areas shaded in gold are severe thunderstorm warnings. We also have a flash flood watch in effect for part of Lackawanna County. As John was mentioning earlier, we've seen these areas that have seen the storms moving through multiple times. We've also seen that in central Pennsylvania, so getting hit more than once today, and that's why that flash flood watch is now in effect.
Yeah, when you get those training storms, or what's known as training storms, they're following in behind each other, and that's what can cause flash flooding issues. Let's take Max 2 right now. Let's take Max 2. We're looking at what this Adam has chimed in here saying real bad storms coming up and over Taylor Hill, and it was taken at Taylor Hose Company number 1. So this is again some viewer reports. Looks like we also have, I'm going to put this one up from Stephanie, looks like a wall cloud that moved through the west side. This was sent in to us at 6:44, so about 10 minutes ago that was sent in. So this was the cell that prompted that tornado warning in the Scranton metro area, and that is a wall cloud. It's a still picture, so it's tough to tell if it was rotating or not.
Another report, we had a report of lightning hitting a structure and an elephant causing a fire. Now we're seeing another lightning strike causing a fire in Madison Township, 5080 Bloomington Road in Madison Township. Lightning strike causing a structure fire there. So just another area to be aware of, to watch out for as the storms move through.
Yeah, so these continue, these active tornado warnings. It is 6:55, so you've got 5 more minutes to go with that Wyoming County warn storm. Not focusing too much on that right now, only because just kind of looking at things, looks like the rotation isn't particularly strong with that. Still capable of producing some hail and some damaging wind gusts. But of course, we only stay on the air with you continuously for tornado warnings. And if that one's kind of weakening out a little bit, but the other one going till 7:15 is still showing some signs of rotation. That's why we're kind of maybe focusing or keying in on that one a little bit more than some of the others. But Allie, as I kind of look over here at the rotation couple, yeah, let's take Max 2 if we can. Max 2. I want to show you where there's another one of these strong rotation couples. Again, this is going to, looks like it's going to pass through just north of the Tobyhanna and Gouldsboro State Parks. It's going to be this area in here, southern Wayne County, that's showing some clear-cut signs of some very strong shear, which means that the storm is rotating very rapidly. So what we're looking at is in and around Sterling and Newfoundland. Got to be in that tornado safe shelter now. Same in South Sterling. Panther, this is moving in your neck of the woods too. Skytop, you want to be in your tornado safe shelter as well. You're not officially under the tornado warning there, but this is another case of we're seeing some strong rotation. National Weather Service office that covers Monroe County is actually in Mount Holly, which is New Jersey. So. You know, they're not no coordination there, but you know we've got the strong couplet, strong gate-to-gate shear. I know it's maybe not. There we go. So the 74-mile-per-hour one is probably the better bet of gate-to-gates, which means that there's some very strong rotations. Some strong rotations located right now, southern Wayne County. Looks like it's kind of just north of the Monroe County line. So up into Newfoundland, South Sterling. You need to be in that tornado safe shelter, and I would say Skytop too. Skytop, you should be in that tornado safe shelter because in addition to this tornadic threat that we're seeing, we're also seeing some very large hail. We've seen numerous reports of that have come into us here in the weather office. There are some other active watches, or the active watch, the tornado watch officially goes until 10 this evening. And just keeping an eye on the National Weather Service chat line for any additional warnings that might be issued.
And speaking of that, so if you are hearing the cow in the background, that's actually the alerts that we're getting. That's how we know to look over at a different computer, separate from where our graphics are, to see what the National Weather Service is saying, to see the new alerts that they're issuing. So you probably do hear that in the background, and it may be, you know, kind of obnoxious, but that's alerting us so that we can alert you. So unfortunately, we do have to keep that alert turned on.
Yeah, and that's I chose that on purpose. I chose that because it's different than any kind of text alert, ringtone, anything else that anyone has around here in Weatherland. You know,
but even in the newsroom, I mean, we're in the newsroom right now with people with their phones turned on, other flash flood watches, you know, people are getting those alerts. So we have that alert turned on so that it's different than what, you know, everyone else in the newsroom is getting. Absolutely.
So the cell that you see up on your screen right now, that's the tornado warned couplet, the velocity, the spinning in the atmosphere. There is a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued, though, with the tornado possible attachment. We've seen how that's gone today. That's for Lackawanna, Luzerne, and Wyoming counties until 8. So we won't continue coverage for that unless there is a tornado warning. However, this severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible is for Lackawanna, Luzerne, and Wyoming counties.
You can take one to show that new severe thunderstorm warning.
So right now, the lottery is running in the bottom left-hand portion of your screen. Good luck if you played. You're going to see those winning numbers coming up here right now. Of course, winning the lottery today, pretty insignificant if a tornado comes your way. So that's why it's in a small box. That information is available online in other ways too. But if you don't have those other ways, that's why you have that small box in the left lower hand portion of your screen. Those are today's winning lottery numbers. Again, good luck if you played.
And thanks to the control room for being able to get those numbers on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know some folks, they play religiously, and they want to know if they won today. So there's your winning lottery numbers, and now it's gone. So we're back to the tornado coverage.
Yes, so take Max 1. It is 7 o'clock, so that tornado warning for Wyoming County has now expired. We're now on air for the one tornado warning that we do have for Lackawanna and southern Wayne County, and that's in effect for 15 more minutes until 7:15. And then we also have the area shaded in gold surrounding the tornado warning. That's the severe thunderstorm warning. That's a new severe thunderstorm warning for part of Lackawanna and Luzerne counties. Mm-hmm. That was what John was just talking about before the lottery came on. That was just issued. Yeah, and it looks like there's a tornado, a severe thunderstorm warning that's issued for eastern portions of Monroe County. Yes. That one stays in effect, I believe, until what time? That remains in effect until 7:45. So that's actually out in advance
of the tornado warning, and that tornado warning cell right now is in southern Wayne County, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Still showing some pretty, well, it was showing some pretty strong signs of rotation. Luckily, that looks like it's weakening as it's kind of moving over into Pike County. So some good news there, but still kind of continuing coverage with this tornado warning. Officially on the books till 7:15, although right now it looks like the worst of it would actually be moving into far western portions of Pike County. That would be the area of greatest concern, at least at this point. Still looks like, maybe there's kind of a a small hook in that. As let's pop it over to Max 2 if we could, please. Max 2. So this is, kind of between southern Lackawanna and southern Wayne counties. So kind of, again, the area of concern where we'd be looking for the strong rotation and the potential tornado would be in this area here. This is likely where we're finding a lot of the strong winds, the damaging wind gusts, and this is the area where we're probably looking at some of the largest hail. So this is for southern Wayne counties and into western Pike County as well, excuse me. So this is going to be south of Interstate 84, and so it's in this area here. So this is south of Lake Wallenpaupack, and the storm will remain, this particular storm will remain south of Lake Wallenpaupack. I know we have some viewers there. And so this is where that storm is going. I think what we're going to do here, at least for the time being, as we kind of refresh everything here on our end, we want to send it back, I guess, Allie, over to our anchors in the studio, Scott and Charlotte. They've been with us here for a couple hours here now as well, with an updated look at some video.
Some of the damage, yes.
Sure. Yeah, we're getting a lot of video, a lot of pictures coming into Newswatch 16 as these storms rumble through northeastern and central Pennsylvania. You guys take a break. Great job. Appreciate it very much.
It looks like Lake Winola. I'm taking a shot at that one, but I know we did get some video from viewers in Lake Winola, and you can see the hail just pelting the lake there. And still, that area is well, I guess Wyoming County has expired. Lackawanna County, though, still under a tornado warning. But again, Lake Winola there, you can see the hail, and that is a look at Scranton from our People's Security Bank camera in downtown Scranton. So that's looking north, and that looks better than it did the last half hour. It appears that the worst of this seems to be passing maybe to the south of the electric city. Yeah. We have not really had anything terrible come through here. We're just right on the southern edge of the city of Scranton in the borough of Moosic. So maybe at least the city might have gotten off relatively unscathed. We do have some video of this here. This is looking like
unclear on where this video is coming from.
I know that some of the biggest hail recently has been around Lackawanna County.
Haggins. This is Schuylkill County, western Schuylkill County in Haggins. And again, the same story. We're seeing some very damaging hail coming down, and we appreciate you folks sending this video in, so we're really getting a feel for what's going on out there. We have a crew in the Abingtons section of Lackawanna County sent back some video of some pretty serious street flooding, which is not unusual there along Northern Boulevard. That happens a fair amount when there's heavy rains, and certainly rains tonight were heavy. This is Dunmore. We've seen this picture before, tree down, one very lucky car there that looks like it just got missed. Dunmore was certainly right in the hard-hit areas. Right in the center of it all as those storms were passing through. Now they're moving to the southeast, heading towards the Poconos, as John was telling us. Newfoundland, Gouldsboro,
and Blooming Grove, maybe in that area.
Heading south, so take cover. If you see these storms coming, if you hear them coming, take cover. We so often hear people say that when there is a tornado, the sound resembles a freight train.
Right. You hear all the winds kind of coming, and the hail and the rain and the winds kind of all mixed together. And yeah, you can sometimes hear it before you can see it, because a lot of those clouds, as we've been showing you, have been so dark. When we show you our roof camera and we show you that People's Security Bank camera, you can see how dark it is. So a lot of times you can't really see the storm itself, but you might be able to hear it. And I know Allie and John have been saying that it really is important to stay safe, to be in your basements, especially if you are one of those people that's under that tornado warning. And I know we're still under a tornado warning, Allie and John.
We are at 6 minutes after 7 right now, and we do have one tornado warning in effect, and it's in effect until 7:15, so we'll get right to it. Show you the area that's shaded in red, and that's the reason that we're on air right now. So included in that is Lackawanna, the southern part of Wayne, and it does extend a bit into Pike County. And actually, the newest alert that we have right now is the new severe thunderstorm warning for Pike County until 7:45. So that has just been issued. Again, it's with the same cell associated with why we are on the air with that tornado warning, the area shaded in red.
Okay, yeah, and so you can see where that rotation is there on radar. Moving into Pike County. Looks like it's pretty broad rotation. Yeah, it's just stick with Max 1 and Allie if you just drag the, yeah, there we go, thank you. So that's southern Wayne moving into Pike County. The other area of concern right now, I would say, is in Wyoming County. There's another strong rotation couplet showing up in Wyoming County, at least at this point. So I think we'll have to be on guard for additional tornado warnings here to be issued. In fact, I want to pop over to Max 2 here for a moment, if we can, as I want to show you where I'm seeing this rotation couplet. So once again, that's going to be when you see the cool colors, the warm colors right next to each other. So it's going to be in the southern portions of Wyoming County. Some pretty strong rotation signatures being shown up here. I believe this is a severe thunderstorm warning in this location, Allie. This particular cell that's getting ready to cross over into northern Luzerne County. So this is in and around the Ricketts Glen area. So this is a spot that we'll have to, that may be even, no, that's east of Ricketts Glen, I'm sorry. This is just a spot that we're going to have to watch pretty closely. So
and that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8 o'clock, so we do have quite a bit to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Francis Slocum. Francis Slocum
Yep.
is where that storm is heading. My apologies. So Orange and Francis Slocum, severe thunderstorm warning until 8. And kind of looking at things, that's there was a pretty strong rotation couplet that's showing up there. It's still only a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible attached onto that until 8 o'clock. So we're going to be keeping a pretty close eye on that thing. But in terms of the tornado warning that remains in effect until 7:15, that particular cell is kind of extended out into Pike County right now, and thankfully
Reprocessed
not
vehicles
looking
and
at
corporate vehicles at big volume discounts, up to $10,000 off. Performance will get you approved. Yes, 74 one-owner low-mileage vehicles with savings up to $10,000 off original MSRP. Don't miss this one-time event, exclusively at Performance Kia.
Most drivers don't understand the dangers of texting and driving until it's too late.
We see the devastating consequences of texting and driving every day. Don't let this happen to you. Take the No Text NEPA pledge.
Go to pahomepage.com today.
We are your Ferris zero-turn mower dealer, W.F. Welliver & Son. With patented suspension technology and U.S.-made, Ferris makes mowing fun again. Get to W.F. Welliver & Son, Route 44, Jerseytown.
Jeopardy! Please welcome today's contestants. A stay-at-home mom from Livonia, Michigan, Sarah Feeney. A therapeutic humorist from St. Albans, West Virginia, Jim Bob Williams. And our returning champion, a professional sports gambler from Las Vegas, Nevada, James Holzhauer, whose 28-day cash winnings total $2,195,557. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. Who needs Powerball? All you need is 28 days on Jeopardy. He knows how to celebrate Memorial Day. Jim Bob and Sarah, welcome aboard. We're delighted to have you here, and I wish you good luck. And put the three of you to work now in the Jeopardy round, which has one daily double in one of these categories. Heavy science is where we start, followed by four-letter fill-in-the-blank. Then add slogans, the Eastern Seaboard, group names of animals, and finally, it's time for Dodger Baseball. Champ.
It's time for Dodger Baseball, 1,000.
In 1986, This Dodger lefty from Mexico led the National League with a now mind-boggling 20 complete games. James.
Was Fernando Valenzuela?
Yes.
Eastern Seaboard 1000.
New Haven is a port on this sound, an arm of the Atlantic. Jim Bob.
What is Long Island Sound?
Good.
Eastern Seaboard 800.
Answer. Daily double. You're tied with James. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, let's go with 1,000.
All right, here is the clue. White House hopefuls visit the Red Arrow Diner in this New Hampshire city that's on the Merrimack River.
What is Manchester?
You picked the right city. Go again, Jim Bob.
Group names of animals, 1,000.
A group of owls is a wisdom or one of these legislatures. James.
What is a parliament?
Parliament, correct.
Dodger baseball 8.
The 1970s Dodgers had the longest-lasting intact this group. Garvey at first base, Lopes at second base, Russell shortstop, and Say at third base. James.
What's an infield?
Infield, yes.
Ad slogans 1,000.
This company has used the slogan, "A diamond is forever," for an eternity. James.
Was De Beers?
De Beers, correct.
4-letter fill in the blank 1,000.
This is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul. James.
What is hope?
Good.
Heavy science 1,000.
This planet is
Once daily Onoro contains
created in these devices that produce beams of fast-moving charged particles, like the Large Hadron Collider. Jim Bob.
What are accelerators?
Yes.
4-letter fill in the blank, 800.
Don't put the this before the horse. James.
What is cart?
Yeah.
Ad 8.
Elon Specht was 23 when she came up with the tagline, "Because I'm worth it," for this French-named beauty brand. James.
What is L'Oreal?
Yes.
Animals 8.
It's a murder of crows and an unkindness of these related birds. Jim Bob.
What are ravens?
Ravens, right.
It's time for Dodger baseball, 600.
This Dodger co-owner knows how to lend a hand. Playing across town, he led the NBA in assists per game 4 times. Jim Bob.
Who is Magic Johnson?
Yes, he's the one.
It's time for Dodger baseball, 400.
Longtime Dodgers catcher Mike Scioscia drove to Orange County to become this team's longtime manager. James.
Or the Angels?
Yes.
Animal 6.
A group of gorillas can be a troop or one of these. Who's on base? James.
What's a band?
Band is right, and that takes you to 8,400. Twice as much money as Jim Bob, and it's break time for us. Back in a moment, folks.
First responders, active military, veterans, and retirees can get $750 cash back on top of all offers at your local Ford store.
Love strawberry season? Take your pick of Perkins fresh strawberry dishes, like our strawberry croissant French toast or our fresh strawberry Belgian waffle platter, starting at just $7.99. It's the naturally sweet way to start your day, only from Perkins.
What really sets Dukes apart is that little bit extra tang. It's the best.
And good evening, everyone. We were hoping we would not have to do this, but we have another tornado warning. And once again, this is for Lackawanna County. Here's the radar tonight. We have a tornado warning for Lackawanna County until 8:15. The storm in question, as you look smack dab at the middle of your television screen, is right there. That's the warned storm. Let me let you know some facts about this. This is near Music, which is slightly south of Scranton, and it's moving off towards the southeast at about 35 miles an hour. So when we look at this storm and track it out for you, given some of the history that we have had with this storm, there's a pretty good percentage that we're going to get some large hail out of this. It will bring in Springbrook Township the next few minutes, and then Clifton, and then perhaps even into Tobyhanna Township as well. So once again, like we've been saying all afternoon, if you are in the path of this storm, if you are in Moosic or in the southern part of Lackawanna County, you need to think about your safe place. These storms have been rough over the last several hours. Strong, damaging winds, possibilities of tornadoes. We've seen some pictures of funnel clouds. We've seen some pretty impressive radar echoes, all indicative that there is some rotation in the storm, and that there may be a tornado with this. So I still think all threats are on the table. In addition to the possibility of a tornado, we may see the large hail, heavy rain, and with these storms moving over the same spot, that may lead to some pretty decent flash flooding. So that is also a possibility. Hail, damaging wind. We have seen a lot of video of some hailstones bouncing off cars all over the place, from central Pennsylvania, from northern Pennsylvania. A little radar imagery, a little bit different than what we're used to seeing here. We're looking for various colors, and they're not too pronounced on this particular scan. And we're just looking around and cruising different parts of this radar to see where we may be looking at some rotation, and perhaps there is a little bit around Springbrook Township right now. So that said, when we look at the threats within this storm, we not only have the heavier rain, but where you see that purple, that tells me there could be a good hail core with this thunderstorm, and there may also be some rotation within that storm that could lead to a tornado or a potential tornado. So think about your safe place. If you are anywhere from, let's say, Moosic through Springbrook Township, Moscow, and Goldsboro, think about your safe place in your home. Basement, lowest level. If you don't have a basement, the first floor will do. Be in an interior room, stay away from outside walls and windows, be mindful of what's above you. We've been telling people all day to do a couple of things. One, crank up the volume on your TV. This way you can hear us and we can let you know where that storm may or may not be. If you're not in immediate danger, download the Eyewitness Weather app. Couple of things on there. We stream our newscast. We stream our live coverage. This way, if you lose power, you're still able to watch us on your cell phone if you have some good battery life. Interactive radar is there too. And if you're not in immediate danger, go to pahomepage.com, and on there we have a severe weather handbook, and that can give you your safe place in your home, or at least help you identify that. Stefano and Christina, they've been here all afternoon. We kind of thought we were done for the night, and lo and behold, here's another warning.
Yep, joke's on us, right? Well, here's the rotation path here on Lynx 2, and I mean, this storm, once again, it's pretty perfectly in line with what we've been seeing here. You can see, Stefano, I actually like what you just did there. Can you jump to reflectivity? I mean, that storm lines up pretty well with the rotation path we were already looking at. So the areas where we are looking at rotation, which again go straight into this tornado warning, are pretty perfect. You're backing that storm up there, right?
Yeah,
I'm not looking at that wrong?
No, just so I can show you the progression of it.
Right.
So there it is through Scranton, Moscow, even you know, just to the north of Pittston, and now once we throw over the sheer swath, now you can see that rotation that went along with it.
Perfect in that diagonal line there, and those are all those areas you just showed on reflectivity, all the areas that kind of line up with that rotation path. That's where we've been getting a lot of comments, photos, videos, a lot of hail. That's something that we have seen with these storms that have passed through. It lines up perfectly, which is not a good thing. I mean, you know, I wish you guys weren't looking at damage like that. And, you know, these storms are obviously very strong still, considering we've got that, not only the tornado warning, but some severe thunderstorm warnings as well. You can see the threats that's right smack in the middle of that tornado warning. There is a pretty big purple blotch. That is where we could see potentially some hail. We've got a lot of heavy rain surrounding that and a lot of heavy rain within these cells. Earlier, they were moving quite quickly. These ones are still looking like they're moving relatively quickly, which means it doesn't look like too much rain is going to get dumped on any of these areas. But the returns are pretty impressive, which means that rain is going to be pretty heavy in spots, Josh.
One thing we need to be kind of mindful of, especially in terms of the rain, is the fact that if it's rained in one spot pretty good and you have another storm moving over the same spot and then you have another storm moving over that spot, you end up getting training of thunderstorms, and that may lead to a little bit of flash flooding in some places. So that is certainly a threat. In fact, Lackawanna County is under a flash flood warning until 9:45. So that is a possibility. We have a lot of reports of some trees down, power outages, tree leaves all over the place. The wind gets a little bit gusty. Hail has been a big threat. We're getting a lot of pictures and we're getting a lot of video of hail from these thunderstorms over the last several hours. So that could very well be a pretty big component to our severe weather this evening as we get into the next couple of hours. At the same time, these storms develop. They're feeding off some of the warm and really muggy air that we now have here. So we have the warm, muggy air. These storms are feeding off of that. And then to kind of get a little meteorological on you, they run into a warm front, and a warm front, picture a spiral staircase. The wind twists along a warm front like a spiral staircase. So they start running into that warm front. They start, tapping into some of that different wind direction, and then they start to rotate. Just as when we thought we were done, at least in terms of the tornado warnings, we now have another one for Lackawanna, Pike, and Wayne counties until 8:15. We expect this storm, if we can go over and take a look at Lynx 1, guys, we expect this storm to continue to move from about Springbrook Township into parts of Wayne and Monroe County. So Tobiana Township and perhaps Mount Pocono very soon. The good news is it looks like we're seeing improving weather around Scranton and Music, where this storm was first reported. So I see Stefano bouncing through various different radar imagery. What do you have for me here, Stefano?
Well, right here is our severe threats that we're looking at. And what we've been seeing with these storms that have come through in the past is on the severe threats map, we've been seeing, if we can switch back over to Lynx 2, we've been seeing a lot of those reds and those deep yellows in there, indications of shear and rotation. With this particular tornado warned storm, we're actually not seeing any of that right now. What we are seeing is a pretty good, well-defined hail core in here. And with these thunderstorms, we've been getting some pretty decent-sized hailstones out of this, along with some general gusty winds and heavier rainfall. So traveling is going to be an issue as this storm system continues to come through. This is a tornado-warned storm, that meaning it is a radar-indicated tornado warning. That meaning the radar has picked up rotation within the storm, not necessarily a tornado on the ground, but certainly something that we're keeping an eye on. Expected to expire at around 8:15 this evening, so that's a good half an hour or so. We'll be following this very closely until then. Christina, if you can head back over to the reflectivity for just a second here. Right where you see those deeper purples, just to the north of Clifton, we're right near 380 at this point, and west and southwest of Sterling. Thank you, Christina, for circling that. That's where we would see that good, well-defined hail within there, even back in areas near Springbrook and Moscow, where we've already had some hail. Wouldn't be surprised if there were some more hailstones that are coming through with this, but just the torrential rainfall that'll be coming with some of this, because we've seen so much rain already. Water pooling on roadways is going to be an issue. Areas of poor drainage are going to have a tough time keeping up with this, so that potential for flooding still does exist. Again, a tornado warning has been issued. This is for Lackawanna, the southern portions of Wayne, and the far western portions of Pike County as well, I believe, as the storm does continue to move down to the east. If you can throw a track on that for me, Christina, you turn on the little skits so we can just get an idea of who's in the line next. So what we're looking at here, you can see that storm top, that echo top is at around 35,000 feet. Generally speaking, that's about where planes fly, maybe a little bit less than that. So normally when a thunderstorm has that kind of growth with it, it certainly does have that potential to become severe, as this one has, and also maybe even produce a little bit of that rotation. That percentage for hail up to around 100%. Near about an inch in hail size doesn't necessarily mean you'll walk outside and see that hail fall at about an inch. Sometimes the radar can overestimate it. Good news is that severe hail potential has dropped quite a bit. That BTI that we're looking at, that 4.3, a decent indication of at least that rotation, Christina.
Yep, absolutely true, Stefano. But one of the things that I do want to point out with this this storm, and I mean kind of the warnings around the tornado warning, I mean there's plenty of them to look at. You can see them flashing here. I just want to show you guys a few of the photos we've had sent in, because this is just a really good depiction of some of the other threats we're looking at with these storms. You can see, I mean, we have had dozens of hail photos and videos sent in. Alicia sent this one in from Reebok. I mean, look at the size of that hailstone in her hand. This one coming from Pine Creek Valley that Vicky sent in. Similar size. They're looking to be about the size of a golf ball. We're looking at this in West Milton from Bobby. A little bit smaller here, but still big enough to make an impact. Looks like it's about the size of a quarter there with that hailstone, or those hailstones, I should say. So again, we've had so many photos sent in from hail. First of all, I appreciate everyone sending in those photos. If you can do it safely, and I cannot emphasize the word safely enough, send in photos and videos. We like to see what these storms look like from your perspective, but again, safety is key. And when it comes to tornado and storm warnings like this, I mean, this is the time, if you are in these warnings, to take shelter, go to your basement, go to an interior room in your home. Can we pull up that graphic, you guys upstairs? Thank you, I appreciate that. Who do we have upstairs directing right now? Johnny, hey, thank you, my friend. This is what we're looking at with our severe weather safety graphic. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you've been in these storms before, if you've heard us talk about them, go to an interior room, go to a basement. You want to be away from windows and outside walls. Again, it's not just the threat of the tornado. It's hail, it's wind, it's heavy rain, and when you're looking at things like hail, particularly, windows are not your friends. You want to watch what's above you. We've had multiple instances this evening where we've had reports of debris in the air being sucked up or pushed up by the wind. Those are all things we want to watch out for when it comes to these storms. And obviously they mean business, otherwise we wouldn't be here on air with you. I mean, these warnings really mean that it's time to take action, my friends, and get to your safe spots. You know, like I said, basement, interior room, away from the outside of your home. It doesn't take wind more than about 60, 70 miles an hour to do some serious damage. So, Josh, it looks like you're looking at our threats right there on that map on Links 1.
Yes, we're able to look inside these storms and get a sense of what may be going on other than rain, perhaps some hail. So this is kind of self-explanatory, where we have the green and where you have that purple. That is where the core of the hail could possibly be with this storm, around Goldsboro and just to the south of Freytown. But you notice that little speck of red right there, just outside of Goldsboro. That's where we have rotation in a storm. That indicates that rotating thunderstorm, and this is where we may have a tornado. So this is the part of the storm. This is where the roughest weather is, south of Daleville, just outside of Goldsboro, south of Freytown, moving away from Clifton, excuse me, but it is approaching Angels, La Anna, and Panther. Perhaps the core of the storm ends up staying away from Tobyhanna, so that could certainly be good news for Tobyhanna, but then we get that storm moving into other regions. It may perhaps clip parts of the Promised Land State Park. We'll see how that goes, but this is where the nastiest weather is with this thunderstorm. This is hail, pretty heavy rain. The wind is likely awfully gusty, and there's that rotation shown by those specks of red, those little red squares showing up here. It's a bit pixelated, but that's where we have the rotation within that storm. So that's why we're interrupting your programming. National Weather Service sees that rotation, and then they issue a tornado warning based upon what that storm may be doing. Right now, it's for a small part of Lackawanna and the southern part of Wayne County. At this stage in the game, it looks like it wants to stay out of Pike County. Perhaps it's diving off a little bit to the southeast and getting itself into Monroe County. So that, you know, could be good news for Pike County and the southern part of Wayne County, but it may not be good news for the northern part of Monroe County, where the weather is likely going to go downhill pretty fast. Yes, Steph?
Well, that's what our little track here has it on. It does have, it looks like it just skims past Pike County, and it's going to dive down into Monroe County. So Tobyhanna, we can expect it in around 9 minutes. Mount Pocono, expecting that in around 17 minutes. Again, these are generally rough timelines here. It's just to give you an idea of where the storm is and sort of where it'll go first and second and so on and so forth. But if we look at the velocity on this, and we can sort of see, let me just get rid of this. We can see sort of that well-defined little look that we like to get, where we get that rotation. These red returns are moving away from the radar. These green returns moving toward the radar. And it's normally right in the middle, right near Goldsboro at this point, where we're getting some signs of that rotation. That lines up pretty nicely, actually, with the center of this storm, which is right over Goldsboro at this point. Gusty winds, heavier downpours, main things, but even some decent-sized hail going to come with this one, and our severe threats here actually showing that decent hail core that's over Goldsboro right now.
It is, and these storms have just been rough and nasty, basically since about 2 or 3 this afternoon. We were kind of hoping that the trend would be for these storms to perhaps give us a little break, give everybody a little break, but they want to hold together. And so far, they've been doing so. We have received numerous videos from all of you. Thank you for sending these. But we found one particularly interesting in, if I can somehow find this one again. There it is. Okay, so on Links 1, guys, what we've been kind of watching and taking a close look at, this was taken earlier today from a gentleman looking towards Scranton.
Josh, I hate to interrupt
yes.
you. I just want a little update here. It looks like that National Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning for Lackawanna and Wayne counties.
All right.
So
Which
a
is
little bit of good news,
obviously.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
Good news there.
Okay, so then what we're going to do, my friends, since that tornado warning has expired, we will send it back to your regular programming. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You're in third place with 8,400, and you wrote down an incorrect response. It is not Aquaman, so it'll cost you $83.90. That leaves you with $10. Over to Sarah. She had 11,600. Started slowly, was coming on strong, and in the final came up with SpongeBob SquarePants, which is correct. Way to go. And you are adding 5201. You're going to finish in second place. James, over to you now. You had 41,381. Interesting totals for you. And you came up with the correct response, and you will add 18,000, an even bet, and that takes you up to 59,381, and now gives you a 29-day total of $2,054,938. $2.25 million. Will it go up again tomorrow? Tune in and find out.
Promotional consideration provided by Geico. Jeopardy is also brought to you by Best Fiends. Download the app for free and solve tons of fun puzzles today.
Best Fiends. Collect Howie and tons of other cute characters. Solve thousands of fun puzzles. Download Best Fiends for free today. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Imagine feeling fearless at the dentist. Imagine strengthening enamel while preventing cavities 70%. Act anti-cavity. Stop imagining. Start acting.
The employee pricing event is back.